turn my mic up. What? I'm a pimp, the pimp's my hoe.
What's up? This is Cormega. I'm chilling on Cormega TV. For those that aren't too familiar with me, I'm what you call a MC. I'm not a rapper, I'm an MC. I focus on what I say as opposed to what the beat does. I focus on trying to make you rewind or play the song back again as opposed to trying to make you dance. I'm thought-provoking as opposed to just poking. I came up in the era when MCs and lyricism reigned. Like if you was whack, you couldn't get a deal, no matter how much swag you had or money you had or cars you had. If you sucked, you sucked. Sometimes I look at the present state of rap and I shake my head or scratch my head and try to figure out what's going on. Is this the longest running episode of You Got Punked, or is this a prank, or is this real? Because some of the substances that come from the artist is the same thing as how much you drink or what you smoke or who you screwed. Or I try to wonder, like, is there more? There has to be more. There has to be more than that. Luckily, I think there are some newer artists that are trying to aspire to be great lyricists. Like there's Baby Pun. I like Lou Fiasco. I like Fonte. So there's a few other artists that are trying to do their things out of new guys. All right, the thing that separates Cormega Raw Forever from the typical album that you could get is, for one, it's a double album. For two, it's a double album for the price of one album. And in one album, it's like a best of. So you'll hear me and all of my ignorant glory. Because that's the thing I like about it. It's the time period. So it shows me early in my career. So there's songs on there that I don't even approve of anymore, but that is still dope to people. The second disc is me with a live band that's called The Revelations. They're a great band. They've also done work on Wu-Tang Chamber Music, and they've done work with Trey Williams. So they're known for what they do. So the second CD is pretty similar to what MTV Unplugged would be, or like a live band, live show experience. So that's very different what's going on right now. And the reason I did it is I wanted to show that our genre doesn't really get the respect as being an art form. People just look at it like, okay, that's hip hop, but in reality we are artists. So I just want to do something that an artist would do, and that's why I worked with a band. The Realness is the first album I ever released. It was the album that I released after I was on a major label and I didn't get to come out with my album, so I went independent. I put out The Realness. It's one of the most successful, popular independent albums in rap history. A lot of notable independent artists now say influenced them to go indie, and I'm humbled by that. You know, when you got artists like Immortal Technique and Sean Price telling you, yeah, like stuff like that made me want to go indie, it's humbling, you know. So The Realness is a life-changing album for me. Some of my most valuable lessons as a man is seeing the birth of my daughter and seeing the responsibility and the care that the doctors gave to her upon her coming into the world. That made me have a whole new appreciation for, you know, doctors, nurses, etc., etc. September 11th was something that really made me have to look within and made me really respect and appreciate my country, and it made me really, really look up to firemen. Like, I bought a fireman hat the other day. New York Fire. I think New York Fire Department is the realest people on the planet. As an artist, I think one of the most important things that I've learned is humility goes a lot farther than celebrity. You could be an asshole and be the most successful artist, but once you lose that positioning, nobody wants to deal with you anymore. So it's like the cool people go the furthest. So it's good to be cool. And also in the industry, you got people like Puff Daddy who started out in the mailroom and elevated to the highest position that you could elevate to. So it's like that same guy that you're, you know, that you might look down or frown upon or act a certain way with, you can't do that because that same person might be your boss one day. I've learned that in this industry, and I've learned not to be judgmental. That's one of the most important life lessons that I've had in recent years. I got involved in the flooding of Pakistan situation via an interview with some of my brothers from overseas, and they were telling me about the situation over there, and I was blown away by the fact that that circumstance over there was so epic. It was such a big thing, but there was barely any media about it in our country. That's one of the biggest powers that an artist has. Whether you're platinum, you're gold, or you're bronze, one of the biggest powers that we have is our voice. I just wanted to bring awareness of that because at the end of the day, there's a lot of kids that were suffering from that. One of my favorite lines of all times is from Slick Rick. He said, "A man never loses a fight in God's sight." That little line might have not been the most complex thing in the world, but it's just so strong. And he also said, "Men don't steal and most don't borrow." Core is a center, and then Mega had two meanings. Mega is like greatness, and it also meant another thing that blew me away when I was in that stage. I think mega is like 1,000 kilos is a mega mathematically or some shit like that. So I was like, interesting. I know mega stands for something great, and my real name is Corey. So I just put the two together, and it ended up with that. The thing you can expect from me for the rest of the year is to be prepping for my brand new solo album and projects I'm working for 212. Also, I'm going to be active. Community active. Like I just did a song recently called I Made a Difference, which is a song for the Haiti relief effort. All the proceeds go to the JPHRO Foundation organization, which is Sean Penn's organization, which is a reputable organization. And I've seen hands-on the effort and the aid that he's given Haiti. I've seen it hands-on when I went to Haiti. So we put that song out recently. It's me, it's Redman, Little Fame, Stickman, Maya Azucena, and Still. The Revelations were on there and Jazzy Moto's on there, so stuff like that. I did a co-drive recently, so stuff like that I'm going to be doing continuously. And that's basically it. Yo, what's good? This is Cormega. I'm live in the building, Carmelu TV. Reclaim your TV.
Put me on the street and I'm going for mine. Money talks and bullshit walks. Rappers are hustling.